And we're live. Welcome to another Thursday night jam with RCJesus and SASquatch. I bumped the button a little early while I was trying to light a smoke, so that was a bit of a fiasco. Tonight, we will be covering the new Trailfinder 2 1982 Toyota pickup from RC4WD Drive. It's got quite a few new little features on it, some new details. The body's actually licensed now. It's a Toyota body, not Mojave. So that's cool. We'll open it up. These are RTR, but they don't like come assembled. You know what I mean? Like it's RTR, but it's not. It's RTR with a half hour's assembly. This is actually, I stole one of my shop inventory. So we're just going to nicely, gently get it out and keep it all square, but take a look at how it comes out, what's in it, see what we can see. And then I'm going to throw it all back in so I can sell it. Oh, move that out there so I don't bump it and end the stream. And so I'm not going to assemble it. We're not going to go through that stuff. Plus, you guys have already seen it. But I figured this is a good chance for anyone that wants to see things particularly up close and, you know, ask specific questions that you don't get in a pre-recorded unboxing video or article. The chance to do it. And plus, I'm excited to see it out of the box. So, what up, Mark? How's it going? So what we'll do first, let's see. Maybe let me hook my other camera up. Maybe for some angles this will work better. I probably should have played with that, seen what was going to work before we started the show. But, you know, this super professionally run show here. We don't always think of things like that. All right. Let me switch and see what we get. This might be a better way for you guys to see the box. Dylan, fuck off. Good boy. HD Pro webcam. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know if that's going to be any better than me just grabbing the box and showing you guys stuff. So we'll switch back. This is kind of an oddball where neither camera is really going to work the best. Come on. There we go. So one thing you see, it comes with XVD axle shafts, no dog bones, straight XVDs, CVDs. Right out of the gate. They've got new X-Ring tech, it shows here. Give you guys a view of it. Pictures it shows. Nice. And what that means, if you're not familiar with it, is this is like a lot of race cars and high-end stuff switched to X-Ring seals quite a while back, because instead of a round O-ring like a donut or a Cheerio, it's actually squared on the top with divots in, and then it sits in there nice and flush and seals up even tighter and better than an O-ring does. So it should make the action a little smoother, and it should make leakage less likely to happen, and then take longer to happen before the seals wear for it to happen. What else we got here? Here it is in blue and red. And right there, it tells you Toyota officially licensed product. RTR 110 speed lock wheels, 4-wheel drive. All this stuff is pretty standard on this part of the box for TF2. And then here we get your standard side that shows you all the goodies and lists everything. So what do they say about their new X-Ring tech here? Our new X-Ring tech provides multiple sealing points for unmatched protection against leaks and contamination. Yeah, that's what I just said. Your shocks stay cleaner, last longer, and deliver consistent performance. Okay, so they just said the same shit I did. Surprise, surprise. Facts are facts, right? This is going to be a big one to a lot of people, especially scale people that are all about getting it just right. It is now leaf under axle, but the axles come with a pad on the bottom and the top, so you don't have to be flipping axles or screwing around or reversing ring and pinions, any of that crap. You just simply swap it for the top or the bottom. Very easy. And then, right, the axles are now designed to accommodate leaf springs in 2 configurations. Over the axle for an off-road appearance and under the axle for street look. This dual design eliminates the need to flip the... Okay, so I'm just saying all the same shit that they're writing here. And I promise I didn't read the box at all before getting on here. So, you know, again, facts are facts. It is what it is. There's not much you can change on that. 1982 Toyota pickup hard body. I'm curious to see the 22R engine bay with dress-up kit. It should look really good because it's the engine bay kit they did, but it comes with a lot of the dress-up parts already on it that you usually have to buy separately. LED basic lighting system. I have noticed the LEDs in the front are like bright blue, like halogen or LED lights, so it's not a warm white or a soft white like the original truck would have had. But a lot of people have upgraded lights, and you can always cut it off and solder in a warm white, soft white, whatever you want, to fix that. So we got stamp steel 1.7 SR5 legit wheels, BFG KO2 1.7 tires, 60 and 80 millimeter shocks, 60 front, 80 rear, I believe it is. Yoda 2 ultimate scale cast axles, super soft flex leaf springs, 540 45 turn motor. A lot of this stuff is standard. R3 single speed transmission, center mounted center hammer transfer case, twister high toe. Yeah, okay, that's all the typical stuff. You get the Marlin sliders, the plastic ones on the side, like come on the Marlin. You get the plastic Marlin front winch bumper, like comes on the Marlin. Rear plastic tube bumper, which I think is the same as what's on the Marlin 2. The front inner fenders look cool. It looks like they're maybe 3D printed or molded out of ABS or something like that, as opposed to Lexan you paint. We shall see. Typical XR3 channel, universal wall wart, crappy NIM charger, blah, blah, blah. And then anything worth the crap here worth reading, or am I just repeating myself on everything again on this? Give me a second here. Okay, we'll go through it.
The fine print.
This licensed RTR showcases the iconic 80s Toyota livery paint style found on full-size classic models of that era. Hit the showroom floor and open the hood to show off the 22R engine bay with painted parts and dress-up kit. Authentic scale details include metal emblems. Yeah, I forgot about that. They come with the emblems. Fitted inner fenders, a molded interior, and a pre-installed LED kit. New suspension updates allow for better articulation out of the box with the helper leaf springs and inner shock springs uninstalled, but included for personal tuning. Finally, after all these years, they took the goddamn springs that are worthless out of the shocks. Hooray. Personal tuning, X-ring technology, which reduces contact friction for smooth shaft movement while improving oil retention around the shock shaft. Trailfinder 2 chassis features years of trail testing. That's true. These things are like 14 years old now or something. And comes with innovative new features. An updated version of the Yoda 2 front axle now includes upgraded XVDs. The leaf springs come installed under the axle, lowering the ride height and center of gravity for better stability while off-roading. The steering knuckles are improved for increased strength and durability. Elevate your ultimate scale experience today with the impressive look and performance of this 110 Toyota RTR. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. All right. Yeah, the paint scheme on it's awesome, and they always do a wonderful job on the paint marks, so I'm curious. Yeah, I bet you just finished greasing your flex shaft. All right, so nothing on the end of particular importance. Again, most of this is just typical style RC four-wheel drive box. There's your end caps. There's the blue side. There's the dual side.
18-inch recoil, huh, Mark?
A little, there's the whole back side. Give you a little better view of it than it was sitting on the table. I'm sure. Now, which end is open?
Does the light kit just plug in, or does it have like a controller you can control it from the transmitter?
Couldn't tell you. We're gonna find out in a minute here.
Okie dokie.
Shit, I took my X-Acto out to the garage and forgot it in there.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I had to cut some old fuel tubing when I was working on Bronco on Tuesday. And it was the best tool for the job. Because I couldn't find my utility knife anywhere.
You only have one X-Acto?
It's been in for 25
How
years.
do you call yourself a hobbyist with one X-Acto?
Huh?
You only have one X-Acto?
Okay. There's another one.
Let's say, dang.
And I know there's a couple more in boxes. So this, I know already, is going to be the traditional RC four-wheel drive radio. Yep. Again, in the essence of keeping this all preserved to go right back together. We've all seen that. We've all swapped them out for our Spectrums and Tutabas and Fly Skies and Airtronics. So we don't need to see that. There's nothing new there.
Nothing to see though.
Is all sealed. At this point, I'm going to assume it's charger. It's too light to have the battery in it. There's no nickel in there for sure. But we'll leave that sealed for the time being unless I need to open it for some other reason. We got 2 brown boxes sliding out here. Come on, Meow. Give it to me, Meow. All right.
Come on, meow.
Yeah, there's the chassis, obviously. Dylan, seriously, fuck off, buddy. And this should be the body then. Yes, and the body comes with a very nice cover in it. You can see it. This is the underside. You can see a little bit of the engine tray right there. And they actually divot it, so just like the real thing, it's over where it sticks up. Here's all your stickers. Legit Toyota stickers and stuff on this one.
Nice.
76 looking stickers, Golf looking stickers, KC, RC4 drive lights, Toyotas, RC4 drive STP style, whole bunch. And then you got graphic stickers,
stuff.
all your stripes, Toyota. So you got several different options there for colors and styles. And that's everything. So give myself some room here and set this aside. I missing anything?
Mississippi RC Addict is unboxing his right now too.
Oh, nice. There you go. We can do it together. Mark, yeah, well, we've got both in stock, I think. So if you want one, let me know. All right. I really probably shouldn't cut into this, but odds are it's going to be a regular customer, one of my buddies that buys this anyhow, so they'll know it's all good. So we'll do the dirty deed and open it. At least it's all cut nicely with an X-Acto, right? It's not just ham-fisted open like so many like to do.
Did you say hand-fisted open?
Ham-fisted.
Oh.
Never heard that term?
Yeah, I just didn't hear you right.
Yes, hand-fisted. Ah!
Like, the fuck are you doing to your boxes?
Fuck the shocker. We're fisting this shit.
Oh my God.
Very well packaged so far. And a lot of the detail work is already done on the body. I'm seeing. Interesting. I got different covers. Some of my buddies that got these as influencers, they had this cover over the whole truck. Now, for production, it's just down to cover the front and rear.
They got cheap on us. They couldn't afford the extra half a cent for paper.
Well, this shit racks up. One of my favorite features on this bitch, the antenna. Dylan,
That's awesome.
That antenna is dope. Very 80s style, right? The flimsy and kind of the plasticky antennas people put on.
Yeah.
Wipers are already on.
Nice.
Emblems are on. Maybe it's bright enough in here. Ooh, I don't know. At least you're not getting a reflection. I'll just hold it close. So it's all done in traditional fashion. I'm getting reflection. TV. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The interior, I can't tell if this is a new interior or not. I haven't used any of the interior parts in a while. I'm used to doing all the separate components, the CC hand and other parts, but it's all molded, snapped together, and plastic welded seats into it and stuff like that. This goes on the rear. That goes on the front. Your lights are all wired in and taped right up there. And then in the back, right there. I do not see any kind of light controller at this point. So you just plug them in the receiver and they're just on.
Plug-in power, got
it. It's like shoe glued, hot glued probably actually. The wires in places right there. So that's nice. That'll make a nice secure down the where is it? Down the sides, right there and up there. So they did a really nice job. The front end with the engine bay and all the stuff up front is definitely quite a bit heavier, so you get the front weight bias like you like. Here's the legit Toyota grill with actual Toyota in it. The headlights look nice. Marker lights look nice. Typical stuff. I know they changed how the hood latches and stuff on this. It's got 2 magnets now. And it's a little tricky to get open just because
So is
of
it
the
a different
grabs.
mold from the Mojave then? Like they changed the mold up?
Well, considering the Mojave doesn't have an opening hood, yes.
Okay, yeah. So it's a new mold then, huh?
Yeah, you have to, traditionally, we always had to cut the hoods open. Bauhaus used to make, I'm not sure if they still do, a really sick kit for that. Man, opening this up the first time is tricky. I've watched a couple people struggle with this. So
Push from the bottom.
there's an engine bay.
Oh, it's got a flat molded engine bay.
Yeah, I don't think, well, yeah, I can get my fingers up to that part where the motor goes. There we go. And I think I'm gonna close it now and see if it opens easier. I think it might just be the first. Yeah, it's just that first open.
Yeah.
That's stuff. But
Just the
now
first
you've
time.
got right there and right there are magnets, and then right there are magnets, and they're much more hidden. They're not the big giant circle, so they look good. You've got your actual. I'm gonna turn this back on, I guess. Wish there was a way to turn it to soft light. There probably isn't. I just haven't paid attention. But hold on, yeah, you can see some of the what would be like stock hood bracing. You got your stock underhood stickers there for, yeah, all your traditional manufacturer stickers just shrunk down. And need to get that prop rod up. There we go. This is my second other favorite feature on it. I'll see if I can show you to you in there. Yeah, you can see it right there.
Mhm.
Stay up. There's a prop rod.
Oh,
Just
that's awesome.
factory. However, it is
Does it move?
pretty thin and bendy, so be careful with it. It even has a spot under the hood for it to fit, and it does
That's awesome.
bend it a little bit, but you can see the little notch right there
That's awesome.
fits up into. The radiator looks legit, although it should be black, not white probably, but it's okay. You get some more manufacturer style scale stickers right there. There's your engine bay. So you got battery all stickered up looking legit with your power wires. You got all your plug wires. That is overflow tank with a hose that actually goes to the radiator like a real deal. You got radiator hoses. There you can see them, both upper and lowers. Looks like the air filter has all your old school valves and everything like it would have back on the old factory systems for EGR and other stuff like that. It's very, very nicely done. Everything's painted up, set up.
That's more than I was expecting. So
Yeah, this is an easy, really nice class 0 body all
yeah.
the way out of the box. There's even stickers. I don't know if you'll be able to see those, but there's even stickers on like the power steering reservoir.
Oh
And
yeah.
you can see the yellow a little bit under that hose on the overflow tank and whatnot. Very, very nicely done. Like I said, the interior looks good. I'm pretty sure it's a different interior. The dash lines up and fits really nicely. That's another tough one to see, but it's not too high, not too low. Right on. There's stickers on the gauges. They look all legit. I don't see any like heat and AC control stickers or anything, or any other ones in there. But the dash, which is the most important, has them. And then now, pop my
Any
prop rod
lights in the
out.
dash?
Huh?
Any lights in the dash?
I don't think so, but I'll see if I can figure it out. And then bam, done. Of course, it has to be white, so it just reflects like mad. From what I'm seeing, there's no lights in the dash.
Gotcha. Is there provisions for like a servo for the steering wheel?
Pre-made? No.
Okay.
Do it yourself pretty easily, like normal. Yeah, I don't think it would be hard. You've got plenty, you got this whole gap right here.
Oh,
All
okay.
the way
Yeah.
across, and it's pretty deep up to the dash. There's a little better view.
Yeah.
So you got plenty of room to run lights to the dash, put a steering wheel, micro servo in there if you want, all kinds of stuff.
They did a really good job of making that motor bay shallow but look deep.
Yeah, well,
They did a good job on that.
when you get the right people designing your products, that's how it goes. I know who designed that, but I don't know if I'm supposed to say. So,
Oh,
and the hinges are really nicely done. They look pretty factory. I noticed them from the bomb. So they go right there's your hinge, goes down in, and then you can see it. Am I gonna be able to get it? Yeah, you can kind
oh
of see
yeah.
it goes under right there and hooks up. Looks fairly sturdy and reliable. The plastic it's bolted into is nice and hefty, so you shouldn't have issues of accidentally opening your hood a little too hard or bouncing around too hard and breaking any of that stuff. What else we got? So that covers the body. Like, it's fucking done out of the box. You don't need to do shit to this.
Yeah.
And their paint, like the paint and the sticker application and emblem application, they are always spot on that.
So is the red and the white paint and the rest of it's decals, or is the yellow and orange paint also?
Yes, these are, I can feel it. This is all vinyl. You can feel the stickers, and then you got your metal emblems. You can feel those raised up. Yep. Yeah, all the stickers are vinyls.
But the red and the white is paint?
Yes, and you can see like they weren't hiding shit masking work with the stickers
Yeah.
because if you look there, that's just red to white, and it is a super crisp, clean line.
Nice.
No bleed through, no zigzags, no
Yeah.
bullshit. I mean, I just noticed this too. Look at the windshield trim, the weather stripping on the front and the rear window and the side windows. All that Sharpie detail work we usually have to do and shit, it's all done, and they did a beautiful job on it.
It's nice to see them do some really good quality work on that.
They've been doing really nice paint on stuff for a long time, but this is probably the best one yet as far as detail and fit and finishing quality.
Yeah.
You got all your little holes here for your side hooks, like they used to come with. Those you have to install yourself. Almost all mine are ripped off on my Marlin, but I still have a couple left on. So we will carefully set this aside so as not to scratch it. Yeah, so far I agree with you, man. They've done a great job. This is pretty stout. I don't know if it's just the chassis in here or what. I do know there's some front wheel fitment issues where you can see it in pictures blatantly. The front wheel is back like in real life what would be 2-3 inches too far.
Oh.
There are fixes for that with some shimming and some tweaking. So it's not a big deal to correct. Because it seems like RC4WD drive, in my opinion, I've been running and buying and building their stuff since they came out with stuff pretty much. And I've always loved the quality, but with the trucks, it seems like there's like always one thing like that where it's like, how did this get by? And it's to the point I almost sometimes wonder if they just do it on purpose. So that number one, people will have something to bitch and moan about, so it boosts it in the algorithms and stuff, because no publicity is bad publicity. Or number two, if they just kind of want to leave crap for people to fix and tweak on their own because they know that's the kind of people that are buying this to begin with. It's probably neither one of them, but that's what
What's it?
I think it is.
Wasn't one of RC4WD drive's first rigs a Jeep?
Huh?
Wasn't one of their first rigs a Jeep?
I remember the Trail Finder 1, and I think it was a Trail Stomper, and they did some like cage buggy Jeep style things and whatnot, but I don't think any were actual Jeeps.
They never had that. So I thought they did like a Willys for some reason.
Okay, it looks like. Well, no, I don't. Oh, that's the Charger. Charger, double A's, nickel metal battery, and one or two other things I can't quite place, but nothing important that we need. But they had that set up. It drops out of the bottom of this. So if you pull this out right side up, be ready for it to go plop. It fell into my lap. I was wondering where they had it stashed. So my guess is that other box I first set aside has the bumpers and inner fenders. Okay. So nice packaging. Very good fit and finish on the packaging. Again, good sturdy foam. Molded, like really nice molded
Yeah.
And trays.
Don't lose the tiny
Not
wheel
quite like
hub
a
adapter.
Vanquish or a Boom packaging, but they do a really good job.
Nick, he's warning you. Don't lose the tiny wheel hub adapter. I almost just lost.
It wasn't in the bag? I can't
What he
see my
said in the
screen
chat.
right in the way, but and it does. Oh, nice. Well, that's kind of a bummer, but I guess this could have been a full-time truck. You got a hub on the front,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
The
not a
small
locking
bag, you
hub.
said. You said
Okay.
it's a small bag.
There's the scale rear hub.
Mhm.
Here she is from the top. Very typical RC four-wheel drive fare. If you've had a TF2, you've seen this a bajillion times.
Oh yeah.
There it is from the bottom. Again, very standard. They always do such a nice job on their wiring, though. Wiring it out all nice and flat and no
Yeah.
twist, no bullshit zip tying it, but not zip tying it too tight. They always do a great job on that. Everything's out of the way. It's not going to get caught up in anything. So here are the new shocks. They look good. How they
Mhm.
feel without the springs in them. They feel like zero oil in them from the factory, which is what I expected. So you can't really tell much. They move pretty
Yeah.
well. Everything's nice and free for articulation travel. There's your shackle action. And there's the front. They are, can I see in there? Is it too sealed up? Yeah, it's too sealed up as usual. But I would imagine they're the standard diffs we're used to. Unfortunately, there's still the plastic drive shafts that pop
Yeah.
out and the ears flare out and whatnot. Although I think they've improved. It looks like they beefed them up here. See if I can show you. Everything, I don't know if it'll get close enough, but everything's captured in now a little better and thicker and stouter. So I don't think you're going to have the issue like we used 2 years ago, where as soon as you put any power to it, they would just go bloop and the ears
Pop
would
out.
flare and twist off.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're plastic axles, but they're improved from last one I got was probably a Marlin from them. And they're improved from that for sure. All typical. So we'll show you the leaf under and how that works if you've not seen it. So you can see on this one, kind of, it's hard to get a good
Kind of.
angle, but
Yeah.
there's the mount. You
Mhm.
see the pad there, and then there's still one on top. Yeah, that shows you kind of. So it's just a big block on there now, top and bottom, instead of just on the top like it used to be.
Is there
Other
different
than
shock?
that, like the ESC, the Outcry is for sure a hobby wing, it looks like. Probably
Is there different shock mounting points if you move
40.
the axle?
There are different ones in the top cross member you can see there.
Yeah.
And on the axle, no.
So if
Well,
you
you could potentially put shorter shocks on, and it's gonna be
well, I'm more of thinking if you move the leaf back to the top.
oh yeah. There's some there where they're at, they're really hard to show you, but they're right where my
Or up
finger
there. Okay.
by
So
the
it's got
axle.
they thought of that too.
And
Okay,
again,
that's cool.
I don't think you're gonna quite be able to see those though.
Yeah.
Typical receiver box, standard
Hmm.
mounts. Looks like normal hoops, although actually those might be shorter. Typical metal battery plate. Sealed end bell brush motor. The twister servo is gray now. They used to always be what, red or purple. But yeah, all pretty typical. If you haven't seen the KO2s, there you are. And they're all legit and done well as they like to do.
One piece wheels.
All of the writing is on the sidewall as it should be. I would have to get my oh man, they're sticky too. I would have to get my phone out and zoom in to read it all. I don't know if this will pick it up.
A
There
little
you
bit.
go. Look at
Yeah.
that fine print.
Oh wow.
Have fun with that shit. But it's all there and legit.
Are those one piece wheels?
No, they're bead locks.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah, they're bead locks. They always come with bead locks. At least everyone I've ever gotten. Um, I guess that's about it. I can't see the comments right now to check, but all right. Set that there, and I'll move this there. Now I can see.
Mark says we're buffering.
Buffering? Weird.
I'm not having that problem on my feed, but
Yeah, it's clear on mine, not from what I'm seeing, but get better internet, Mark. Stop living in the 90s, man.
don't lose us, Mark. Don't lose us. Find us.
Okay. And this is the body, right? Yes, that's for the body. And I have everything. Score. Now, I guess we can get into this because I want to see these inner fenders. Where did I put my cutter?
Something else we could talk about tonight is K&K and Mike's new shocks.
Oh yeah, I know a fair bit about those. He talked to me about those a while ago. They sound badass, so I can fill you guys in on those somewhat. I don't know everything about them, but he gave me the rundown pretty much of most everything, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, this stuff's all sealed up, so I'm not gonna be able to get a real good look at it. The extra springs they were talking about are there. There's a different style of steering rod, perhaps for if you do the leaf over and you need a different one. There's the, oh yeah, there's the tool. See, I'm not open in this Mississippi, so I'm good. Some hardware, 3x10, 2x something, a few other things. I'm not sure what that is. Feels soft. I can't. Oh, that's the Velcros for the battery straps. What is that part? So there's a handful of goodies in here. I can't quite tell you what 100% of them are. And then where are the inner fenders I want to see? There they are. Of course, they're sealed too, but I think they're the same ones. They just pre-paint them for you. So they're still Lexan, it feels like. Fairly heavy Lexan, but I mean, they flex and move. I haven't had too many problems with them. The trick is putting a washer over the, if you can see them a little bit.
Over the hole. Yeah.
That'll help from if you really get into it and get shit going from tearing screws through.
I'll rip them through. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, your typical Marlin bumpers. So there's that. And that all comes in your little brown box here. Well, like this. There we go. Another little bag of stuff. Stuff back in. Voila. Just call me 1-800-SURF-PRO, like it never even happened. Okay. All right. So unless anyone has any other specific questions on anything, lost you. You're back. Okay. Must have been your end because we seem fine here, buddy. So yeah. All right. My TV was giving me a weird thing, but it's because I set my box on the bumper. That's what I was reading. So at this point, I'm going to start very carefully putting everything back away as it was. Get the silica in there so nothing rusts. I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys are aware of this, but some of you probably aren't, right? You always get these silica do not eat, of course, because that's the world we live in now. Bags with stuff. Particularly if you live somewhere where it gets humid or if you're out and about in the weather. Throwing these things in like in my box where I have my tackle box that I use for an RC pit box. I've got the drawers that slide out and they have all the little individual compartments. I throw like 4 or 5 of the little ones you get in with all my hardware, my black oxide. My black oxide never rusts. So anything like that, like if you got it in your drawer part of your box, your pit box that has all your electronics, throw a big one or a couple little ones in. This shit lasts a long time and it will save you if you start using it. We get it free all the time and all kinds of stuff with packaging. So I'm not about to pay for that shit. Fuck that. All right. Back in with you. And then I got to finagle that bag of batteries and charger and shit back in under it too. Good thing I've done this a gajillion times. Although they did a nice enough job that it's really easy to repackage everything as long as you paid attention. Some companies, when you take the shit out, it is real hard to get it back in. You're like, how in the hell did they even get this in there to begin with? Traxxas is one of the worst for that.
Yeah, they're all rough.
Displays and stuff, and the way their styrofoam is, and they have lots of times the suspension switch stuff, trying to get it back in there 100% like it came out is a pain in the ass.
Or like an X Max, if you cut the shocks, you're fucked.
Yeah, because they come zip tied down.
Yeah.
And not zip tied down like most do, but like zip tied compressing the suspension down if you've never opened one of those. All right, so this goes shit. Now I'm trying to remember which way I opened it. And if I have to, I can always go back and watch the video, but was it this way or was it this way? Set this down for now and finish packaging shit and then figure that out when it's done. There's the other one for the body.
Ow, ow, ow.
Okay. What's up, Stacy? No worries. We're just finishing up and going over this and bullshitting. They did a beautiful job on the body. This is the most important part to see if you haven't. It's got a new antenna, metal emblems. The paint is gorgeous. All the rubber is done and painted around it properly. Yoda emblem in the grill. The engine bay is dope. It's got a lot of the accessories and stickers and paintwork done already. You got your not factory, but somewhat factory looking underside bracing with stickers. It's dual little magnets now on the top and bottom that look much better. Radiator looks good. It's even got a little prop rod that pops out. I'll show you right there. And there's a little spot in the hood where it kind of hooks in.
Oh.
I can get it from this angle. I don't want to break this. It does feel very fragile, so be aware of that. And then actually prop rods your hood up all legit. So the antenna, this whole truck, the antenna and the prop rod are my two favorite things they did. I love that kind of little shit. The prop rod is awesome. For years, like, why is no one putting fucking prop rods on these? Well, someone listened and they did. Okay.
Someone finally heard you.
Soft cloth back on here. Whoop. Got my soft cloth on the front. I could see this cloth being another part of packaging you could steal and use and make useful elsewhere too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Oh. It's upside down, as I recall.
Trigger Nick real quick.
Damn it. Now I can't remember how I took this out either. Shit.
This is the best part of the show, watching you try to figure this shit out.
Watching me struggle.
Yeah.
That's all right. I got 2/3 of it back together. I'll do the rest after the show. I'll go back and watch myself unbox it and voila, problem solved. So yeah, I guess that pretty much covers that. I'm very impressed. It's nice body. Definitely a nice job on all the wiring and everything, but it's pretty typical. They just kind of step it up a little bit each time on that stuff, it seems like. Exactly, Mark. I'll rewind the tape. Dylan, fuck off. It's not for you to fuck with. You're doing so well entertaining yourself elsewhere, buddy. Keep it up. We'll play later. Thank you. Good boy. So the K&K shocks.
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan, go on. Go. Go lay down and entertain yourself. Good boy. The K&K shocks. They come in, I believe, 2 colors right now, which is silver and like black or gunmetal charcoalish.
Uh-huh.
Pretty sure it's just the two. Now they
Yeah.
could always add that more later. And again, Mike and I talked about this stuff 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. So don't take it verbatim, but I'm pretty sure I remember all this stuff. The way the top of the shock can mount is, if you've seen the pictures, you can either put, I think it's a set screw in the top to plug the hole,
Yeah.
or you put a screw up through it and a rod end screws to it. So you can mount it like a traditional shock. But you
Yeah.
also have the option with the threaded adjustment, which would usually be for setting preload. Well, they make a mount that threads around that and then has a mount that kicks off the side of the shock body. So here's the shock body, it threads around it. There's a little mount off the side, so you can mount it like that if you needed to, which on some comp rigs and scale rigs and weird stuff would come in handy. So it gives you tons of versatility for mounting. The spring retainer on the shaft is held on with a screw, so you can't lose it. Sometimes when you really flex out or something, your spring gets soft, those things with the slot will pop out, and then all of a sudden you're like, why is my truck driving like shit? Because the spring's hanging half an inch too low. That problem is solved. So it's real easy to get off because you take the screw out and it still has the ability to just lift the spring and pop it off. But it's locked on when you're on the trail and using it. The shafts are super hardened, good shaft. I can't remember exactly what the specs were, but they're real tough, good shafts and pretty stout. So you're not really going to be worrying about bending them and scratching them up and beating them up like that. He does have different spring rates available. I'm not sure if they are yet. I think they are, but those might be a coming soon thing. So you can
I
tune.
think he was saying coming soon on that.
I think they might be a few weeks out or something, as I recall. What else? Oh, the baddest feature that, again, especially racing companies like Kyosho and AE, you think they would have done this 20 years ago. But if you know how a real shock works, is the body, right? And then the shock shaft's going up in there, and in the body there's the round piston that on real shocks has a valve that separates and moves and shit. But on ours we have holes. Well, his are machined from Delrin, I believe it is, and they're notched around that, right? So here's the piston sitting on its side, and all the way around the circumference, there's a machined out area, and an O-ring fits on that. So you're getting like no blow-by. It's working like a real shock. All of the fluid is going through the holes in the pistons. So it should be very smooth, very tunable, very what's the word I'm looking for? I use it all the time for my leaf rigs. It's one of the reasons I like them. Predictable.
Yeah.
It's going to behave the same all the time. And they should hold up longer, quite frankly, because you've actually got that O-ring as a buffer there, cleaning the fluid off and things like that. I think, as I recall, they bottom load build, and I think there are X-rings and stuff in there for the sealant.
Nice.
Similar to the Elements or Associateds, I think. I think they're the same as like AE Ray Shocks as far as how they mount there. I cannot remember if they're emulsion or have a bleeder. I think they have a bleeder with a hole and a threaded
Ooh,
screw, so you can bleed them like that, but they might be emulsion shocks too. That I can't remember off the top of my head.
I have to go look real quick.
What
Now I'm
else?
curious.
What else? They're gonna come, I think, in 2 or 3 different lengths.
I don't see a bleeder
Uh,
in the
what
pictures.
else? I'm not sure where they're made. I don't know if they're being machined and made here in the States or if they're being machined and that work done overseas. I can't remember that. Knowing Kirby, they're probably made here. But I don't know. He's got a really good price on them too. Like I think they're like $50 a pair or something like that. Which for custom shocks like that are gonna be that are like game changing level, that piston is huge. Some people might think, oh, it's not a big deal. That's a big deal. Him doing that to the piston and the fact that it's machined and not molded and snapped out of trees like we were doing for the CC, that was going to make it much more accurate, much better performing, and 100% consistent from shock to shock when you build them. So that's a big deal. That was the biggest deal I found about them. Is there anything else? Anything else?
They look like they're tie-night shafts too.
Yeah, there's something like that, or diamond, like near diamond code or whatever, something like that. Something where they're solid, good shafts.
Yeah.
I guess. Hold on. Let me see here. we'll go back to Messenger. Because we talked about this on the phone, but yeah, here we go. Here's a bunch of shit. They're called the Boss Shocks.
90 millimeters.
I'm gonna show you all some pictures.
He's got them up on his website now. Yeah.
There's the side mounts. It's kind of washing out. So there's your options for your two mounting options that come with it. If you haven't seen the shocks themselves, come on, camera, figure it out. Damn this light. Well, if you haven't seen the shocks themselves, you're not gonna get a clear shot at them now either. Fuck you. So map is $50 a pair. Mounts are $16 a pair. Springs are $15. Rebuild kits are $5.99, and soon DLC shafts, diamond light coated. They come in matte black, natural, and gunmetal. 3 colors, not 2. And the offset mount is an add-on. It doesn't come with it. If you want that, because I mean, only certain people are going to use that, and it would have driven the price up, so it makes sense for them to be an add-on. But that is an additional add-on for the $15.
There you go. I put a link in the chat for him.
There you go. So yeah, those are pretty sweet. I'm gonna be interested to try some out.
Yeah, they look cool.
So he did a good job there. I'm not sure how long he's been working on it. Kirby keeps his stuff pretty close to the vest. He doesn't usually talk to me about it until a few weeks before it's coming out. But I would guess they've probably been working on it for several months, maybe longer. That kind of stuff it takes a little while to develop. It's not an overnight process. That's lighter. Damn, it's already quarter after, huh? Well, that went quick. MIP, yep, they announced that MIP is doing parts for the RC10 reissues 2. We didn't cover that last week. Right now, I think all I've seen announced are CVDs for the Gold Pan and the 10T. And those are a direct from MIP deal. I don't think you're going to be able to buy them anywhere but from MIP and hobby shops that purchase directly from MIP. I don't think A-Main and Horizon and Tower and RPP and those guys are going to have them, from how I read the email from MIP when I got it. Sounds like it's going to be either through them or hobby shops that get it only. So if you need them, you got to buy locally at a hobby shop that's stocking them or can order them for you, or order them directly from MIP yourself. And I'm guessing they're probably going to come out with some more stuff, because they used to make steering for it back in the days and a few other things. Everybody's tripping wanting them to release any of the 4-wheel drive kits again. But I don't see that happening. And when I've talked to Eustace about it a couple times this year, doesn't sound like it's going to happen. But again, if he's doing it, it's not like I know him super well. He's not going to tell me, right? That's going to be stuff they're keeping secret. But I would assume pretty safely that 4-wheel drive kits will not make a reappearance, but I could be wrong. So I would expect steering and maybe a couple other things like that to come from them. They might end up possibly doing DS shafts, because those are even shorter arms than the short arm RC10, as I recall, so they'd have to be a different length CVD. And I can't think of much else, unless you guys can. Yeah, it's got
Mind me, I'm just multitasking.
I think I do have this mounted right. Now that I'm looking at it, I can probably put it away. Although, actually, that's probably supposed to be the other way around, maybe flipped. But I'll rewind the tape if we're done with the show. Make sure it goes on. Right. Although knowing I wouldn't be surprised if Roxon comes in and buys this tomorrow anyway. So that won't matter. But yeah. All right. I guess that's it. You got anything to report?
Not really. Just working on the Borderlands buddy, but I haven't really done anything visual since the last time you guys saw it. Working on your 3-wheeler, but it looks just like mine does at this point, so it doesn't look any different.
Yeah, you should have the shocks tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got yours is at this stage, so
yeah, almost there.
Yeah. So got to trim the forks, get it the right height.
Okay.
And shocks. Yeah. Then detail
handlebars,
parts,
wheels, tires,
handlebars. Yeah, I mean, everything's printed properly at this point, so it's just now just putting it all together.
Yep.
Get the Traxxas shock off there so I don't kill you.
Yeah, I was gonna send him some Proline shocks, and he hits me up and he goes, "Oh, I found some shocks in my stash that worked." I'm like, "Oh, cool. What kind are they?" And he said the T word, and I'm like, "I'm sending you shocks.
I
I can't have that on my three-wheeler. Sorry."
thought I gave Nick a heart attack.
Like, no, 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 that's not how I roll. So we'll get that fixed.
No.
Yeah, no, bad Chris, bad Chris. You should know better. Uh, Hopefully next week. I haven't talked to him about this yet, but he should be open to it. We'll have Blake back on Metal Masher
Okay.
because he might push to the last minute, but in 2 weeks we've got that TTC we got voted into coming up with that big crew cab from the 2013 top truck. It's the clone of the real truck. He's got a ton done with Chris Roscosh. He printed him seats and bed, all kinds of parts for him to use. And they were working on that last weekend, I think, or the weekend before. I think it was last weekend. So he got a lot further on it, but I think it may not be fully finished next week, but it should be close for you guys to check out. And we'll talk about that event and the real four-wheeler top truck challenge and all that stuff if you guys aren't familiar with it. Chris may or may not be on. He has some stuff going on. So it's like a 50-50 shot right now if he's here. So it'll either be the three of us or just Blake and I. And again, I haven't talked to Blake yet. I'll probably hit him up tomorrow or something. But he should be able to get free in a week's time for it. So I expect that'll be good. And then the following week, I don't think I get to my hotel in New Hampshire until 9 o'clock or so. So being able to do a live show 2 weeks from now, whatever, is a little sketchy. And then the week after that is going to suck. I fly to New Hampshire, do TTC, fly back Monday, fly back out to LA on Thursday, and then fly back to Florida again Sunday night. And I don't get to Horseman's Ranch on Thursday until 7 or 8 o'clock. I'm guessing I should get there on Pacific time. So we're going to be late, but Chris and I might still do a late show from Proline if we have the service and I'm there in time and everything works out, yada, yada. So there may be 2 weeks without a show. There may be 1 week. We may not have to miss one at all. It's all up in the air on drive times and if flights get delayed and what kind of internet I have, all that kind of shit. So it's going to be madness, but it'll be fun. I haven't done an event since Beat the Creek. So it'll be really cool. I'm super psyched for the RCEC Top Truck Challenge. Because again, we'll go over a little now. If you're familiar with RC or Four Wheelers Top Truck Challenge they did for 20 something years, I think it was. They had all kinds of certain events. One was called the Tank Trap, and then the Frame Twister, and the Hill Climb, and the Coal Chute, and the Mud Bog, and blah blah blah. We're not doing the Coal Chute, but we're doing a ton of the events. Some of these events didn't happen every year at Four Wheelers TTCs. Some of them came later in time. So he's going to do his best, knowing Trevor, who's putting it on, he'll get it damn closer right on to make us the scale tank trap and the scale frame twister and a scale size hill climb with the right weight and all that kind of stuff. So it should be a whole lot of fun watching these trucks do it, especially because several people like Blake and I did clones of real Top Truck Challenge contestants from over the years. So it's going to be kind of like watching a Top Truck Challenge in mini, you know. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think there's 15 teams, I believe. I believe it's 15. So it won't be a big event, which I'm kind of psyched to because a lot of the events I've been going to are thousands of people at them, or at least many, many hundreds. So going to a cool event, this decked out, this scale with this cool of vehicles entering with only 30, 40 people there is going to be pretty fun. That's going to give me back throwback vibes to the old days doing this stuff 10 years ago. So I'm excited for that. And then Proline, of course, is just a giant event rock crawling party. There's people up 24/7, stuff going on. You'll see people up in the mountains with their lights on, crawling at 3 a.m. Good times.
Should
So
be a
that,
blast.
of course, will be a riot. Yep. And Chris is going to send his mini There might even be some other tricks up the sleeve there. We'll see. Uh, so lots of fun times ahead. Lots of stress and bullshit of travel, but lots of fun times. Kind of disappointed in Delta. Usually by now I'd have gotten because I always book economy, right? Because fuck paying all that money. But usually I've got enough, since I have the credit card, enough points that they always bump me to first or business. And generally I get that email like 4 days after I make the flights. It's been like 2 weeks and I haven't gotten one. I'm like, you motherfuckers, where's my free upgrade? Trying to make me ride back in economy. You guys spoiled me. You always give me these free first class and business upgrades. I'm used to that shit. Don't take it away from me now. Better food, better drinks, and more space.
What's the flight from Florida to LA? What, 12 hours?
God, no. 12 hours? Fuck no. It's like 5, I think.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It doesn't take that long to fly across the country.
Well, I know from Seattle to New York is like 10 or 11.
If you count the time you lose, but it doesn't take that.
Oh, that's true. Because okay. Yeah.
I mean, technically, my flight from Orlando to LA, time-wise, when the clock changes, is like 2 hours. But it's actually like a 5-hour flight.
Got it.
And I fly direct from Orlando to LAX. I did Ontario 1 year, but that sucked because I had to stop in Salt Lake City, have a layover, then fly from Salt Lake to Ontario on a smaller jet that's not as big and not as cozy. Yeah. And then it really wasn't that much closer driving from Ontario to Horseman's than it was LAX. It was like a 40-minute, 30-minute difference. Yeah. So fuck it. Fly straight to LAX. Plus it's cheaper. It costs a hell of a lot more money to fly into Ontario.
Are you renting a car? Or are you just going to Uber there or what?
Yeah, I got a mid-size SUV or something I rented, whatever was on a deal. And I won't bring a whole lot. I'll bring an empty suitcase to bring shit back with. My carry-all bag, carrying the Ripper is probably what I'll bring.
Oh, remember to bring some receivers.
Oh, yeah, make sure and remind me beforehand for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely need receivers. How many channel? 4 is probably plenty, right?
For the bike, for the Borderlands buggy, you're going to need a lot more than that.
Okay, well then, how many do I need for that? So is 7 enough?
Yeah, 7 will be enough.
Because I have a 6-channel that'll work on my 7PX.
Yeah, if you do it like I did, 6 is what I use.
Okay, and that's perfect. And the 7PX has all the mixing and all the shit we might.
Yeah.
We're good there. So yeah, I'll have my radio, my carry-all bag with all that kind of shit and a truck on it, empty suitcase, and then if I have to, I'll bring another small suitcase or carry-on with another truck and my clothes and shit. Fun.
Ooh.
But I'm glad it's a direct flight. Is it 6 hours? I'm pretty sure it was 5 hours or 5 hours, 12 minutes or something when I looked it up. Depends on the time of the year too, with the jet stream and shit and which way you're going and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. And New Hampshire, I fly from here to LaGuardia, I think, or maybe JFK. Might be JFK. Anyway, somewhere in one of the New York airports. And then over to New Hampshire. I can't even remember what airport I land at. I'm going to fly somewhere New York to there. But I think that flight's only like 40 minutes or 30 minutes. So that should be.
I'll get lots of video at a Borderline.
Oh, yeah.
The buggies, the 3-wheelers, the Mini Cooper. I'll get as much video as I can.
Let me catch up here. Yeah, you won't see me around much. It'll be mostly Al at the shop for a couple weeks there, Mark. Snap-on Limited at shop. Actually, $750 for it doesn't seem that crazy for the Snap-on Limited sprint car, Mark. I could see it going for more. But, yeah, I mean, to me, it's worthless, but to each their own. Tommy, nice. Hosting the second TTC, huh? On the 7th of September, I would assume, because I know you guys are busy with Haul and Crawl in October. And yeah, Mark, we'll get plenty of video and maybe go live a few times, things like that. All depends on the kind of service we have and what's going on and all that shit.
Yeah, it's going to be all service related when it comes to line.
Yeah, and those events always get hectic. Those days fly by real fast. Before you know it, it's like 8 o'clock at night, and you're like, shit, I was going to go live, and I was going to do this and this, but then I was trailing, and I was talking to so-and-so and checking out this new product.
I was drinking, and I was smoking, and I forgot.
Me, never. No, that would never happen, especially not at Proline. Proline is very, very serious business.
Oh my god.
So I always go back. I'll never forget my first year. I was just walking around and it was a circle.
Never forget your first
circle
time.
there and a circle there. And I'm like, I know what these fuckers are doing. And they're just out publicly in the middle of the event smoking weed. And then I see a circle with some buddies and I walk up and sure enough, I'm like, where? There we go. You know, people are walking around with beers and mixed drinks and shit. I was like, oh, fuck, I can hang out here. All right. This
one of the
makes
few benefits of California, man.
Yeah. That makes it worth my trip to California. I don't like driving there. I don't like paying the prices. I don't like dealing with a lot of the bullshit, but that fun makes it worthwhile. Unfortunately, Holmes isn't making it this year.
I'm still sad about that.
He couldn't get free. He had other family obligations to deal with. But that's okay. Maybe next year, I forget that, like, I got to get on John about that shit months before because he'll forget about it. So if I hit him up a month before, he's like, oh, yeah, when is that? Oh, a month? Shit. And by then, plans have been made, things have been done. So next year, if I can make it, I'll plan on hitting him up like 3 months before. So he should be in the clear to get everything square. But RC every day, Hobby Wing Charlie, and Chris and I are all staying in it. Well, actually, Hobby Wing Charlie's not staying in the camper now, so we have even more room.
Oh, okay. Well, that means we can't get vendor row though.
Yeah, I talked to Charlie. He's got us hooked up.
Oh, we're gonna go to vendor.
We're gonna get there Wednesday, so when you get there, he'll have a spot for you and show you where to go and all that shit.
Right on. Good job, Charlie.
So yeah, Charlie's got us covered. Huh?
Did he get a hotel or something then, or?
No, they're staying on site, but Hobby Wing, instead of just him coming for Hobby Wing this year, they're sending 2 other employees, I think it was.
Oh, so they're bringing like their own trailer and shit.
Oh, yeah, they're either staying in a big ass tent or an RV or something like that on site.
Right on.
But that's all right because now Charlie won't necessarily be stuck at the booth all day long every day, you know, and just be free at night.
Yeah, you'll be able to have some fun.
Get out and trail and have fun. So that'll be good for him. So that camper will be a shit show of a good time.
Yeah, I'll just be us 3. That'll be awesome.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have plenty of room with just the 3 of us. We don't have to worry about using all the water or overfilling the shitter too early, anything, that kind of crap.
Yeah, please don't.
Last year,
I'll have to charge more rent.
Yeah, right. Year before last, because I went to Vonats last year instead, because they're always the same damn time. It was John, me, Dustin, Jay, I think. And we, by Monday or Sunday morning, we were almost out of clean water, and the black water tank was full.
Oh, shit.
And the gray water tank was like half full. Like there was no using the bathroom more than once Sunday morning. You got a quick shower and got one use of the bathroom, and she was done. It smelled wonderful in that camper that morning. But hey, it was a good time. We survived.
That's rowdy.
Shit happens. I mean, we were camping fancy with a camper, so at least we roughed it a little bit one morning. But yeah, I guess it's 5 after 10. So if no one else has any questions or anything going on, we'll probably let y'all go.
Yeah.
Eat some dinner and take care of some shit. Watch some TV, chill out, and go to bed. Dylan, you fucking monster, man. So yeah, on that note, we will see you next week, hopefully with Blake and a badass truck to show you. And then possibly see you the week after from New Hampshire and possibly see you the week after that from California. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. See you next time, Tommy. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
Oh, Dylan's got to say bye too. Peace out.
See you guys.
Where'd my cursor go? There it is.